Hello and welcome. Today I have for you something quite special. And some would say that it was foretold in the ancient murals of some kind. And I got it in case for $250 US. Or for the non-Americans viewing this video, $250 US. Now, something that is missing from this is a label that I think we write here in the front that would say Buescher. And for those of you wondering, I'm referring to the company that was referred to by Trent Hamilton and perhaps other people as Buescher. But apparently the actual pronunciation of it is Buescher, at least according to every single human on the internet. So I'll refer to it as Buescher. And even just looking at the case, it's quite cool, because ordinarily you wouldn't suspect for this to be of any special value, as normally we're more used to these briefcase style cases. But this is an old style of case called a coffin case, and inside of it is enclosed by far the rarest instrument that I will ever own, though unfortunately I am going to have to sell it sometime in the next month. The money that I used to get this was what is known as savings money. And you can already see it in frame, and it is this, the Buescher Epoch Cornet. And for this, then I'll use this very rough mouthpiece. I might switch to a cornet mouthpiece, but I'm going to try it with this mouthpiece to see if it functions at all with this mouthpiece. Now you will note that it sounds in the key of A because it's in the key of A, and ordinarily this particular iteration of the Epoch Cornet is supposed to come with two of these. This long one that is for the key of A, and a much stumpier one for the key of B flat. However, the B flat one is missing, and thus I'll have to most likely make a replica. But here it is in all of its glory. Something that I never thought that I would see in person, much less own. Now, it's not in perfect condition whatsoever. All of the valves function. However, the third valve is quite rough and needs a little bit of realignment. The second valve and the first valve, however, do function. They're not great because the only cleaning that I've done is wiping the actual valves themselves off and throwing some various lubricants inside of this. And it certainly has some blemishes, especially around the valves up top. And on this main tuning slide, this piece of tubing becomes detached, which I can demonstrate now. That's not supposed to happen. However, it's a really simple fix, so I'm not too worried about it. And all the tuning slides move, and amazingly, I don't believe that any of the rotatable things are stuck, except for maybe this first valve bottom cap, because that's tricky to get to. Now, this being a Buescher Epoch Cornet is already unique, but what's more unique is that it is a first generation Buescher Epoch Cornet. And as a matter of fact, if you look at the sort of patent picture of the Epoch valve system, then it's a cornet that looks relatively identical to this, minus a few braces. And this is not the full video. I'll post a full video whenever I fix it up and whatnot. But this is extremely rare, not only because it's a first generation Buescher Epoch Cornet, but it is actually sort of pre-first generation, because the serial number is number 525. However, it is also patent pending, which is important because virtually every other example of this type of cornet always says the day that it was patented. However, this was made before the patent was sort of ratified. And as far as I know, there's only one other example that was made before the patent was ratified. So this was actually made in about late 1900 or maybe early 1901, but for the purposes of this video and coolness, this was made in 1900, before almost any other. And at most they made about 100 of these instruments. Now I've already given you a little whiff of what it sounds like, but I am going to compare it to a more normal cornet. This is the cornet that I featured last video. This is the cornet that I featured last video, my old Ambassador cornet. Very generic. Remember what an A scale sounds like, then I'll play it. Valves are a little bit sticky. And if my chops and or the valves cooperate, the same scale on this. Does not like the low notes. And now we'll play the B flat scale on this and attempt to play on the other. Fair warning, this is not going to be in tune whatsoever. I can say that even in its state, it feels wonderful to play. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll try to post an update in a week or two.